Okay, and let me just message Casey. Where is she? I know she made it home.
Who?
Casey. All right, well, we're gonna get started, and if you can, while we get started, tag some people, post in your team page, and tell people get over here. So welcome to Monday Night Zoom. We're better together, and we're going to talk about SFR, Scentsy Family Reunion, this evening. I wore my lanyard, so when you go to Scentsy Family Reunion, they send you a lanyard with a name tag and where you're from, so you can get to know people. You take pictures of their names, and then they give you ribbons, right? So you've got lots of ribbons for all your accomplishments over the years. So it's super fun to be able to look at people's title and see what they are, and you know what they've accomplished and stuff. So if you have questions and things like that, you can do that. And then yeah, so we just got back. We saw so much stuff, all the new stuff, some secrets. Yep, we got special limited edition things, not to make you feel bad, but make you a little bit of FOMO that you don't want to miss next year, because they are super strict about it. Like, even if you say like, oh, my friend had to leave earlier, she's in the bathroom, they still will not give you an extra thing. So there is no way anybody's getting anything for anybody if you are not there. But the speakers, the emotion, at one point, my daughter Madison was with us, and she was sitting on the other side of Christy, and she looked over at me and then tapped Christy and said, hey, check on your friend, she's losing it over there. Because I was just like, so, and it had nothing to do with Scentsy. It was all that, well, I guess I might be getting ahead of myself, but it was during a guest speaker, and he was talking about how his daughter just called to say, I love you. And you all know what I'm going through right now. So that hit me. So Scentsy Family Reunion is so much more than just Scentsy. And so many of us got to know each other this week. We've seen each other on here. We've seen each other in our team pages, but we actually got to meet and hang out and have these crazy adventures. And it was just so fun. So unfortunately, Yvonne had to stay home and work. But she held down the fort here. So she's going to give us a little update on what is going on in Scentsy world right now. And then we'll talk a little bit more about Scentsy Family Reunion. So the floor is yours.
All righty. Yes, I had major FOMO, but my mama heart was so happy because I saw you guys all together sitting there just having fun. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's the way it's supposed to be. And so I'm super, super excited. And I was telling them earlier before we got on, super excited to see the dates for next year or after my fair. So I will definitely be there next year. So there are things going on. You guys learned all about lots of new releases and things like that. But this morning, Lilo and Stitch came out. Hopefully you guys got your orders in for that. I haven't seen any sold out anything, but really great bundles. You know, they're trying to make things easier in the economy. So get the warmer, 2 bars free, get the Scentsy Buddy, get the Bitty Buddies free. It's amazing. Check that out. It's Warm the Senses week. So Valley the Valet, I don't know if that's how you say it, valet sheep, hit this morning too. So check that out, super cute. And watch the Scentsy consultant page or the Scentsy Facebook page too, because they're going to do some special posts about Warm the Senses week this week. So check that out. Island Days Wax Collection, the sample 5-pack released this morning. So if you're putting in an order today, be sure to get those. They don't release them to our customers until July 25th, but you are going to want to have those so that you can make samples and get pre-orders for them. I've heard from you guys that went that they smell amazing and they sound amazing. So make sure you get your pre-pack so that you can make samples from that. And Thursday, guys, is the last day of the month. It's like sneaking up on us. So bring back my bar month, right? The free warmer or the free bars with the wax. Wait, the 3 free bars with the warmer collection, the promotion, those 4 warmers, that's still available. So be pushing that. And then obviously that amazing whiff box is still available. Hopefully you saw that there's not going to be a warmer of the month for August, which is weird, but it just has to do with COVID in China and all of that. So there's a scent of the month, no warmer of the month. So be sure to read that news tab collection. And that means no warmer of the month flyer. For me, that means I have to do something totally different from my monthly fun mail because I always send those out. So be thinking about that if you use those flyers for anything in your business. And then new season sales kits are going to be available July 1st. So maybe budget for that a little bit because you can get a kit for warmers, you can get a kit for the new bars, a kit for laundry, and a kit for body. And again, those are amazing things to get in July so that you can make samples of them and be ready for August 1st when the brand new catalog comes out and amazing things in that. So a lot of you saw those really cool things and hopefully you took some really great pictures that you'll be sharing on our team pages because that's one of the great perks of going to Scentsy Family Reunion is going into that product expo and be able to take all those pictures and have them for your use when the new catalog comes out. So I think, oh, and then right now, if you haven't yet, if you keep your calendar in your phone, get your phone out. If you keep your calendar paper like me, get a sticky note out to put in the back of your calendar for that when you get your new 2023 calendar, you know that July 26th through 29th of next year, 2023 is when Scentsy Family Reunion is. So write it down now so that you have that time, what am I trying to say? Set aside. I know I'm going to be there and so I want you guys to be there too. All right, that's all I got for announcements. Oh, obviously too, the $25 join special, that's gonna go away on Thursday. So work it, and try to get some new teamies before then.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. So every Monday we have somebody share their story, and this Monday we have somebody wonderful who just happens to be from my team. And I just wanna say that September 18th, 2016, she joined the team and we can always rely on her. She's a team player and I'm excited for her to tell her story. So I want to introduce Jennifer Bartley.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Thanks, Christy. All right, so I'm not a really good public speaker, so bear with me. So I started, like Christy said, September 18, 2016. I just had my 5-year walk with Scentsy, so that was very exciting. I joined Scentsy because I needed a second income. I mean, we have kids, things are getting expensive. I needed to bring the extra money in, and I didn't want to have to go away from the house more than I already am. I work 40 hours a week plus, because you know, driving is part of that 40 hours a week. So it makes about 60 hours a week that we drive. So that just means that's more time away from my kids. And one of my girlfriends, she's a Scentsy consultant. And on the back of her car, she had her name, all her information. And I was like, what is that? What is Scentsy? So she kind of told me about it. And I asked her, I said, can you make any money off of that? And she said, oh, you can. She said, I just do it for my discount, but you can make some money. all right. She says, here, I'll give you my lady. Because she said, I'm going to give you my lady because I don't want a team. I just do this for myself. Here, I'm going to give you this person's name. She gave me that person's name. We met at Starbucks, and she kind of told me I joined with the 99, and it just comes from there. I loved it ever since. This is the thing I've ever stuck with. I want to start apart.
I think you're going in and out.
Am I going in and out? Hold on. I don't get the best reception in my house. Hold on. Okay. Let me try going right here. What happens over here? It's like the further in the house we go, we lose reception. Okay, better?
Yeah.
What's it? Okay, so all right. So I joined with a $99 kit, and just like I said, just took off from there. My kids love it. When I first got the kit, I opened everything up. It was I guess I should say, I never heard of Scentsy. I've never owned a warmer. I've never owned a bar. I just took a leap of faith and just ran with it. My kit came, and I got my first Tilia warmer and black raspberry vanilla. Put that in the warmer, and Johnny and I, my boyfriend, we went grocery shopping. I came back inside the house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, who sprayed all that air freshener in the house? I mean, it was overpowering. And my mother-in-law was there, and she goes, no, that's your warmer. That's the scent from the warmer. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how it works? She said, yeah, it smells fantastic. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing ever. Kind of like wondering like why I've never heard of it. So at that point, I was hooked. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I share because it's fantastic. It works. And I purchased all of the product because I want to see how everything works. And to be honest, I love everything. There's only one thing I did not like, and I'm glad it's kind of going away. It's the travel tin, but wasn't one of my favorites, but I never let anybody know that because everybody has their own idea of how things are. And, you know, I sold the travel tin, I pushed it, but just not for me. So, but like I said, my kids love it. Every time an order comes in, Charles, he has to smell every single bar, make sure it's, you know, it smells good before I give it to somebody. And he loves to label everything. Amelia, she likes to do the door deliveries for me. We'll drive around and they each take turns going up to the door. And the best part, they work for Scentsy Buddies. So that's how I pay them. And it's really nice. And I'm really happy to be a part of the team. Everybody I've met on the team with our team and everybody else at Reunion, everybody's doing fantastic. And I'm so thankful that I have this. I have a team of 12 people now. And everybody in my team is just, it's great. It's great. They have the love for it like I do. And I'm just hoping to still continue to be part of it. So that's all I have.
Very good. I just want to add to her story. It was so cute because like she said, she had never, ever even tried it when she joined. And my husband and I had went downtown to have a couple of beers one night and some dinner. And there was a couple of girls behind us. And I had my back to them and I could hear them talking. And they kept on going, this Scentsy consultant, this wonderful Scentsy consultant, the Scentsy. And then I was like, I had to turn around and say, who is your Scentsy consultant? And it was Jennifer. And she was brand new and she had gotten those girls so excited. And I was so like proud because she was brand new that these girls were just saying like she was the most wonderful consultant and they were just excited about the product. So I will always remember that.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you for sharing your story and thank you for, you know, doing me a favor. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You know, it can be nerve-wracking to be put on the spot. You know, Jennifer filled in with just a few minutes notice. And, but I think it's a little bit more real that way. You speak from your heart. You don't have time to script what you're going to say. So double thanks. So most of the people on here were actually at SFR. I was hoping, or we were hoping there'd be a few more people, but we are recording. So we're going to keep going, and hopefully others will watch the recording at a later time. Thanks for showing up, Whitney and Amber, for all the goods. Maybe we'll share some extra secrets with you guys at the end, since you're here for real. Okay, so next we're just going to ask everyone that was there if you could just take maybe like five minutes or less, you know, just a couple minutes, and share with us maybe your biggest takeaway, your favorite part, just something maybe that changed your business, changed your life, whichever, whatever you want to share. Just there's, you know, a few of us, we got like 40 minutes. So anyone want to go first, and then we'll start calling on people. So who would like to go first?
I'll go first, Brandy.
Okay, Kristia,
first of all, I'd like to say I think they need to stop allowing Heidi to talk, because she's constantly crying and she's constantly making everybody else cry, and it's not fair. But I think for me, my greatest takeaway was our first speaker, Amy Purdy. And the reason she was my greatest takeaway was in the past 6 months, I've been really challenged in my business and just lost. And not just in my business, in a lot of things, my personal life, my work life. And to hear her story that she had a challenge. She didn't have feet to be able to snowboard, and that's what she wanted to do. And so she said to hell with it, and she designed them herself. And just hearing her story from that perspective, in that if you can't find a solution, create a solution, just lit a fire under me in a way. Because I think we're all dealing with challenges in our business, right? Like things are pivoting with supply chain, with people's access to be able to purchase. We all experienced tight in purchasing in the last 2 years because people were receiving extra money. Now that money's gone. So we're all challenged, struggling to find the sales, struggling to find people who are interested in maybe adding this of their things to do, making it a business opportunity. But just hearing her story and how she continued to find solutions, and it's contributed to her success. I actually downloaded her book on Audible and listened to it all the way home until my earbuds died. So I think she was truly incredible. I'm not taking anything away from the other speaker, but her story just resonated with me very, very deeply. I'm done.
Yeah, she was pretty, sorry, where you go, Kristia? She was pretty amazing, and goes along with the tiers of, like you said, if you can do anything, if she can do anything. Okay, who's next?
Let's ask Jennifer, since she came on and did us a.
Well, that was my same thing Krisha said with Amy Purdy, was the whole thing of don't give up even on your worst day, you know, because there's all those times where you have the worst day possible and you just want to throw in the towel, but give it a few days and you have a clear head and you realize it wasn't that bad. So that was my biggest thing. And I think these were the best motivational speakers that I've heard so far. I didn't get bored with them. And I thought they were great. Thought they were great.
I love that most of them have books also, so you can go find their books and just kind of continue with their story a little bit, and then do kind of a trade-off. If you get somebody's book, then when you finish it, let your team know if anybody wants to borrow it. Did anybody from the breakaways, did anybody learn anything they want to implement in their, oh, Nicole wants to go. Okay.
Hey, so
Hey.
mine, it wasn't during like the workshops, but it was during the leadership that directors not get to go to. And it was mostly the biggest kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the biggest thing was don't discount where somebody can end up. Because there's so many people that they just join for the kit, but you want to treat them just as if you would treat anybody else that's going to treat like a business, because you never know who will end up being or what their potential is. Their potential is unlimited. And if you limit that, then that just sets the stage for them to be limited versus, reaching their full potential.
Yeah, that's super important. Anybody else?
I'll go.
Emmy.
Yes. There's something that I took away from this. Well, one of the things I already knew in the back of my mind, like, as you all know, I'm like a YouTube junkie. I love watching everyone's YouTubes and learning from their team trainings and all that. And so one of the things that I wanted to do while I was there was to overcome fear about walking up to somebody, introducing myself, saying hello, and saying thank you for pouring into us. And so I did it. It was hard. It was hard to do that, but the more you do something, the easier it gets. So I have a really good collection of pictures that I have with a lot of the trainers, even trainers that I had never even seen on YouTube, that I wanted to just take pictures with anyone that I felt, gave good information, gave good trainings, and I wanted to keep that in my memories. But also, aside from the fear is, not being afraid to be alone there, and going to the workout or the workshops or the breakouts, like on my own, and sitting up in front and like really trying to focus on what they're saying and what they're teaching us, taking the notes and introducing myself and saying hello to whoever I was sitting next to. So I think some of you saw that I had made some pins, lanyard pins, and I use that as a way to say hi. Yeah, there you go. Casey has it.
Mine's on my thing.
Thank you. So it was a great way to just say hi, and I'd had my information on it, and here's a pin I'd like to give you. And a lot of people were just really thankful for just a small little souvenir. And so, it's nice to have something to say thank you and give them a little souvenir. So that was a fun part of just being there, being surrounded by a lot of other Scentsy sisters and misters, that just the energy was super positive and you felt really good being there. It was tiring though. It was like nonstop something to do, even if it was like the product expo or like the home office expo, even the consultant store. I just wanted to make sure that I looked and experienced everything, even if I was by myself. That just gave me a little bit more, time to do what I wanted versus like, what does everyone want to do? You know what I mean? So it was like, just take that time for yourself. And it was really worth it. And I can't wait to go next year.
Emmy, I just want you to know, this is Christia. My son lives in Salt Lake City currently, and he was thoroughly.
Sorry.
What were you saying, Christia?
My son was thoroughly impressed in the pin that you made. He couldn't stop looking at it. He was so impressed. And then with the packaging and how it matched, and he just said that you were really great at what you did.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell him thank you.
Will do.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you said too about you kind of made it your own experience, right? Because you can just go with the flow and then go, no one talked to me, or I didn't feel part of the thing. But you made it good for yourself. Like that's what part of that is. So I applaud you for that, especially for it being your first one.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that gets forgotten, that and that was one of my biggest takeaways this year too, was that you have to make it your own, and you're not going to get the full experience if you're just doing what everyone else is doing. And it's hard on leaders to, like, for myself, I worried a lot about making sure everybody else was having a good time and nobody was by themselves, and and everyone was included. But you have to make sure that you include yourself, or you find. And the best thing, who made a new friend this week? Right? I mean, outside of our circle, right? So when you go off by yourself, I feel like Christy and I do this a lot. We go everywhere together, but then sometimes I'm like, oh, well, we're always together. So I think sometimes we intimidate people. And so we just do our own thing. But when she wasn't able to come in the beginning, I was like, oh, what do I do with my other half, like without my other half? And it kind of forced me to, meet new people. So it's good to go by yourself and do your own thing.
I absolutely agree with that. And I think we are, for next year, going to write a little expectations sheet, because it's so easy to follow your friend around or the group around, or if you are really want to work on follow-up and everybody else wants to work on branding, you're doing yourself a disservice. That's why I love to go with I used to go with my husband a lot, because he'd stay back and I would just wander, like it's like shopping. If you want to go somewhere and just kind of wander and take your time and do your thing, whether it's the expo or learning what you want to learn and then come together, like I think it's really nice to be able to just go and sit into something that is resonating for you. So I think we are really going to come up with like a sheet, especially for new people, like things to expect and things to try something to maybe we'll have a check sheet with like some kind of a like, why don't you go off and do a class to yourself, or do just different things, so that people know it's okay that you don't have to stay within your group the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
I think Nicole offered to make a group for, there is the Scentsy with 12,000 consultants in it, SFR group, but a smaller group within our group of teams to talk about booking flights and talk about sharing rooms and talk about those things more on a closer level. Like we had kind of a group chat of those going. So this is just for anyone that, desires or is setting a goal to go, that they can start, saving and checking in and things like that.
Hey, Brandy, I just wanted to say to everybody, I put $50 away today in an envelope towards next year. So don't wait a month. Don't wait, don't wait until January. Start now, because there's going to be times where you can't put money towards it. And any little time that you can, it's going to increase your experience and decrease your stress. So when you're there, you're really focused on what's going, I love it, Christy, what's going on in the moment, learning, networking, and it changes the experience for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And what was I going to add to that? Saving money. Oh, I saw somebody say you can, a lot of banks will let you open an extra checking or savings account and name it SFR and just start putting money in there. If you, every Scentsy paycheck, can you say you're going to put $100 from every Scentsy paycheck into your SFR account? That's $1,200. $1,200 by next year. Right. And I think something people forget about SFR is that while it's a vacation, exhausting, it's a tax write-off, and you have to make it a priority. It has to be something that who went for the first time this year and will never miss another one? Or even if it's not your first time, after you go, there's just something so different about this. You have to make it a priority. Like, if you wanted to, like my husband, he's like, oh, we can go visit our friends. Okay, you can fly out at the end of SFR and we can visit friends and we'll make it to a family trip that way. But make this about you. It's hard to have your family there with you. It's hard to have a husband there with you because you feel torn in different places, but make this about your business. And I cannot wait to see where all of you are in your business 6 months, a year from now, because you put you and your business first and we're able to make it there.
Can I add something to that too? A few times I chose to take reunion as my incentive, but we've talked about this, Brandy, and you can either give your money, to the taxes, or you can write this off. This is a business expense. So it's worth it. And there's so much more, I hear people talk about the giveaways and whatever, and we haven't even talked about that because it's so much more than the giveaways. There's just, one of my favorite parts is when we went to Danette's group and just kind of everybody talked and did whatever. So just remember that you can write this off, and it is absolutely a memorable experience, and you can write it off. So
yeah, and it's like a girls' weekend. It's amazing. So is there anything that what's the first thing you're going to do in your business now? What about you, Kay? And she didn't share. What was something that you were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. And you got home and you're like, this is the first thing I'm going to do.
Well, I kind of feel like there wasn't enough time. Everything is so cram-packed at SFR, right? You either take a workshop or you go to the home office expo thing, or there's not much time. So I felt kind of gypped in that sense because I didn't get to spend more time in places I wanted to. So I missed a workshop to go to the product display thing. It just felt very rushed. So I want to plan out my time way better with setting alarms and all that. Today I worked and then tested. So I'm going to have a few days home.
Okay, it's a lot. It's happening to a lot of people.
Oh, I know. And I know I put it into the universe, but it is what it is. While I'm awake, I've got to just, do what I need to do. I am going to start putting together some onboarding packets, and I need to talk to my team. I need them to tell me what they want to do with their business, so I know where I can help them.
That's important.
Yeah.
You don't get too you don't care about.
What about you, Kathleen?
As you know, I don't really have any systems in place. I've been kind of winging it. So I really liked my class with you that we took with Rachel Pence and the onboarding using Project Broadcast. So I actually stayed up till 2 a.m. because I wanted to have something actually done and not half-assed like normal. So that was pretty cool to have 2 new people that signed up while I was at SFR to be able to start them on this path, the right path, and feel not guilty about letting someone down. My favorite thing about reunion is when you have goals. It's good to have goals, right? And for me, since COVID, I had become a director. So it was really cool to be on the other side of the fence this time. Normally I'm watching you guys walk and I'm so proud and, little jelly, but mostly proud. So it was really cool to be able to walk the stage this year. And it sounds so corny since you're just walking across the stage, but it was exhilarating. I'll never forget it. So that's what I'm working on.
Seeing all those big names back there, you're like, oh my gosh, it's literally like being at a movie premiere or something,
It is.
right?
It is.
Yeah. So especially if you have, if it's a big year for you, like a 5-year or shooting star or a big promotion, you don't want to miss that year, to miss that walk on stage, because
you definitely don't feel like a number. You feel like an individual, like you're recognized, you're seen, It's so cool, walking in front of all these people that don't even know who you are, and they're genuinely smiling at you, making eye contact, and they are happy for you. It's just an amazing feeling. It makes you feel good about yourself because you think you're just being silly and you're walking there, but then it's like helps remind you that no, you did some cool things. Like that was hard work and I did it, So cool.
Awesome. Okay, Kristia had something she wanted to add.
So I too took the Rachel Pence. I can never remember her last name. So thank you, Kathleen, for saying it again, because I fail. And I found something really interesting and helpful. So some of you may know I promoted to director last year, and then we never hit numbers again. It was like, yay, and then it just fell flat. And I took that really, really personally. But listening to Rachel talk about where to invest your time and how to invest in new people that join your team, and not just looking at getting them in the door and getting them to shooting star in 15 days, but looking at that 70-day timeline and getting them to sensational start 3 and 70 days, which means they're potentially a star consultant. Because if you can get them there and keep them paid at title, then if you are a title holder, such as a director, you're going to have a much easier time hitting your numbers with your team. And that just really resonated with me. I took a lot of notes. I already had Project Broadcast, but I have no idea how to use it. So I invested some time, still trying to figure a few things out. It's not the most user-friendly platform, but we'll get there. And just really, understanding where the time investment has to be. I think hearing that, I found that I have invested my time in the wrong places in the past, and that's where my frustration comes from. So that was very, very helpful for me.
Yep, that's one of my love language there is Project Broadcast. I think it's like the best thing that ever happened to my business. You guys know that. Casey. Casey had her birthday when we were in SFR. We got to celebrate her birthday, and she left confetti everywhere she went. It was lovely. So, Casey, why don't you share with us your best takeaway, or what's one thing you're going to do? What's the first thing you're going to do with your business now?
Well, I just have to let you guys all know, I'm still reeling. Like, I've got like this huge fog over my head. I know there's so much stuff in there, but I have no idea how to like put it all together. So I haven't had time to think it all out. And I'm a horrible note taker. But I can say a few things. I think somebody else might have kind of hit on it a little bit, was that I did realize it boosted me up, because I realized that there are a lot of other people out there that are feeling and going through the same exact thing that I am going through right now with my business. And I seriously thought I was like doing the only one kind of thing. So that was something that really pulled me up, and I also realized that I can't remember which one it was, but I can't remember if it was more about sponsoring or just follow up. I'm so confused, and I can't remember who presented it, but what I took away was that I've been doing this too, is that just because somebody's doing something and this is how they're doing, this is how they do their follow-ups. And so then you take exactly what they did and you go and do it and it doesn't work for you. You know what I mean? It's like the feeling of like, well, God, how come it worked for her and it threw? Well, because you got to do you and you got to do what works for you. And it's okay to take a little bit from this person and a little bit for that person. And you just kind of got to keep staying tough. Don't get frustrated. And eventually you will find yours, but also being genuine about it. Like, quit trying to take from everybody else and kind of like sit down and create your own, even if you have to take a little bit here and there. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm also a horrible speaker, but I learned that. And yes, number one, I mean, I like I said, I'm still reeling and everything and getting settled back home, but I don't have any kind of, I thought I was organized. I have no organization at all. I fly by the seat of my pants every single month, I think. I'm not consistent. I thought I was. I'm not. I learned this week I'm not consistent with things. I am consistent with my follow-ups. I do have to say I reach out a lot, but on other sets I'm not. So my whole thing is I need to totally get organized. I need to do a lot more on training, hitting more of the training in the workstation, YouTube, asking more questions. Scentsy. I know everybody's all muted, and I did.
We'll do it at the end.
I literally walked through the airport yesterday. So it's funny because some of you guys know because you were there, but Madison tried really hard to confetti me. I actually got the first heads up chance and I did it to her this week and I did it pretty good. I just seen a picture that Brandy sent me of the floor in their hotel room and it was a wreck. But I thought I was gonna get home scot-free. And even at the last day when they all sang happy birthday to me and threw confetti on me, I still thought I made it. I made it home free. I got no confetti in my luggage. I mean, it's not gonna mess, blah, blah, blah. I get back to my room later that night after dinner. And because I just thrown my stuff on the bed and then went to dinner. And I was packing and getting things together. And I went to pull my notepad out of my backpack that I had. And apparently somehow this little angel got a hold of my backpack and she filled it with confetti. So I slept with confetti and I also twinkled confetti all over the airport as I was walking through the airport. For somehow it just kept like everything I touched. I had to vacuum this morning in my room. So she got me, but I got her better.
Yeah. Well, only one of you was hiding from security, so.
Oh my gosh! Don't do that one live.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things I miss most about SFR is the confetti. I feel like it's snowing joy when confetti comes down. It just makes you happy. So
yeah.
There was lots of confetti.
That's a story for another time.
Yeah. Christy, you have one to share?
For me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I think I did.
I think she did.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just glad I got to come because I was not coming. And so I had some people pushing for me to come and that made my daughter have FOMO for me. And so I got to come. So I'm really glad. There's so many takeaways, but I mean, I love sitting in to the breakout sessions. I love the guest speakers they had. And I love just even afterwards, just getting to sit with a bunch of like-minded people and just kind of share, you know, things about themselves that you might not know. Like, it's so comfortable that people are kind of sharing their hearts, and that is my love language. So I really enjoyed that a lot.
For those people who didn't go, I heard Amy Purdy was one of the speakers. Who are the other speakers, so that maybe we could go look at their books or YouTubes or something?
John Andrasic.
Say it again.
His name is John Andrasic. He's the group 5 for fighting.
He sings a Superman
He's
song.
he's a singer-songwriter. Yes. Yeah.
It was amazing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying he sings Superman and then 100 Lives or 100 Years, I think it was. But he was great.
Yeah, it was so amazing how you think he's a songwriter. How does that relate to us? But hearing him talk about resilience and choices that he made that paid off, I mean, I pretty much cried through his whole talk. So
yeah, in some of the songs he said, you know, like one song took him 45 minutes to write it. Well, I think it was Superman, took him 45 minutes, but then the 100 Years one took him 3 to 4 months to write it. So it doesn't always come easy. You just have to give it time and it'll happen.
Yeah,
I know. I hope they record that, because I feel like a lot of people, they do well in Scentsy straight out the gate and they kind of lose their spark. And he talked about when he wrote Superman, like he was about to be a one-hit wonder, and it just kept on going in his mind over and over. Like, is this it? Is this it? And then you tell yourself the story. This is as good as it's gonna get. Like, I've already done it. I don't have any more. And he has a whole story where he just talked and listened and, you know, came up with something else. And so his story, each song is, you know, better than the next one, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like, I hope they recorded that so that they could see the similarities. And because everybody loved him so much, he made the very, I don't want to say it was passive aggressive, but about that everybody that sent him to come, his wife, his kids, the people he works for, really wanted some samples by the end of his storytelling. I feel like he's probably not going to get through security very easily. So all the samples that he received. So
yeah, he probably had like 500 samples to take home, and not even samples, like product, like full-size product and thank you bags and like, yeah, big stuff. One thing that really now I have to think about this, actually didn't happen in SFR. Like, it wasn't a Scentsy SFR thing that happened, but it was a community thing that happened. And that, you know, obviously we never know what someone's going through, but the way that you never know the impact that you're making on somebody and how much you could change somebody's life without really knowing it, happened this week. And it was emotional, like good, bad, ugly, pretty, whatever. And I think, you know, lives were definitely changed this week. Okay, so anybody want to see some product?
Yes. Yes.
Who wants to share? Okay. Look
The
what
glitter
Christy
brick.
got.
Put it up close so we can see the glitter. I hear
Yeah.
there's glitter in there. No,
Open
like,
it.
yeah.
It's like blue glitter in purple.
Oh yeah, pretty.
And it
And what does
smells
it smell
really
like?
good.
It's so pretty.
What does it smell like, Christy?
Smells like Scentsy Spirit.
I think they said it was like floral, so maybe like a it kind of has like a Luna freesia, and I think I remember apricot.
Oh, it
And
smells
melon.
better. Yeah, I can smell the melon if you open
Melon.
it from the bottom.
Oh yeah,
you really-
melon. Yeah.
Tell
It's
me your
definitely-
favorite new release for fall and winter, like the bars that you smell. What was your favorite? Anybody remember?
I don't remember.
I like all were really unique.
Everybody that went got to take home a whole transition set of testers. So you got to smell all of the new scents.
The buttercream and candy cane.
Oh yeah, that one's good. Show us your bundle, Casey. Tell us what it is.
So here is gingerbread buttercream.
Mm.
I love every single one of these. So does my Bailey Sue. And then we got caramel buttercream. Oh my gosh, so amazing. And they're so cute. The little packaging is so cute on them. And then I think Catherine said this one, the candy cane buttercream.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yummy.
That one's my favorite.
And last but not least are vanilla bean buttercream.
So they had a station set up in the home office expo where you they had a different ones than these with vanilla bean buttercream as the base and mix in other fragrances. They kind of tricked us because then the next night they told us this is the Christmas collection coming, or one of the Christmas collections coming. And the whole station was talking about the fragrance maker and the layers of the different fragrance of vanilla bean buttercream, and it was pretty cool. Then they gave us these. So those will be coming later this fall.
I think my favorite thing that's coming is the Hocus Pocus. I think that's going to be incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's the best warmers that we've had. Like even just the regular warmers are just so breathtaking. You know, zebra print's been out for a minute, but it has come back. Like I can't stop thinking about how I love the leopard print. The zebra print is so modern and clean looking, and I just are you laughing at me? There's just so like I love decor, so I'm so excited about the marble, the mini warmer. Like I haven't been this excited about the new catalog in a minute. So.
How about seeing that castle in person? That was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
There's the new catalog cover. So cute.
I love the cover of it. That'll make people want to open it for sure.
It's thin too.
Did you see all the cool little hidden things in it on the front?
Oh, you're
Like what?
right.
Me and Emmy, where'd Emmy go? Or we were looking at it at the airport, and we were
Yeah.
finding all the cool stuff that was
Like
Well,
what's
like-
hiding? Tell
that's
me.
hidden away. Yeah, like
Hidden-
they had the little unicorn and the pumpkin,
Yeah, there's the unicorn there.
and
then-
there's the lammy or whatever it is. I think it's a lamb, right?
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Here on the porch.
There's a warmer and a flower in the window.
Yeah, it was super
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
I like how they did that.
It feels like half the size of the last catalog.
Right?
Definitely. I wouldn't say
It's
half,
not-
but it's definitely
It seems
bigger.
very.
And
I
I feel
got
like it
you.
feels less overwhelming, you know.
They're the same.
They
So I-
feel thinner to me.
I wanted
got-
to say
I'm
something
holding. They feel the
Yeah.
same.
about the new, well, I missed SFR because my mother-in-law tested right before we left. So I'm super, I'm happy for you guys. I'm just like, kind of like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have gone. But I used that time to kind of get myself organized. And I talked to a bunch of people about joining, and you know, some of the new stuff that's coming, you can use that to get people signed up before the $25 join is gone. Because if people are like crazy about this stuff, they're going to want to buy multiple things, and you can show them what they can earn back on those. And I've already got one person that really kind of wants to do it just for that. But I feel blessed that they've showed us as much as they did, because there's so much coming, and the planning part of it is going to be like, I've already started planning. I plan on putting together a transition like packet for my team. There's a lot of people who haven't like done fall and winter, which is usually like the biggest, like, it's amazing, you know? So kind of getting them ready, setting up their parties and stuff. Like, I'm really looking to that. I also, one thing that I did was I went back and I made a list of all of my past hostess from when I like began. And I messaged each of them and gave them like one picture of a sneak peek. And I booked like 13 parties for the fall. So I said, look, we're going to have a ton of good stuff coming. Would you mind hosting for me again? And I like, within 10 minutes, I got like 13 parties booked.
Nice.
So yeah, just message them and
amazing.
let them know.
Yeah. And I think that's really important. One thing that I don't always do is the like, I wait till the last minute to tell my customers about things, because I feel like if they have a lot of time, sometimes they can back out or change their mind. But then also, if there's a lot, like we have a lot of amazing Disney stuff coming. And so I'll share this and with the leaders, but this is my pre-order list, and I print one for every new, usually it's LTOs, but I'm going to print for all these new things that are coming, like the Winnie the Pooh wall fans that, if you didn't know, all licensed, all Disney wall fans now have lights. So that was something that changed. So they all have light in them now. But so I'm going to print a list or a sheet for all the new products. So that way, when your customers tell you now, obviously Winnie the Pooh is going to come in August, but you know, Hocus Pocus or Casey's Vanilla Bean Wax collection isn't going to come till maybe November. So you can start putting those people down on the list, so that when it's time, when you have a date, or if they want to start, you know, saving for, you know, they're going to want the castle, they're going to want Hocus Pocus, they're going to want the whole Jack Skellington collection. So that's a lot of money if they want to start, you know, saving and stuff like that. So I'll share that with you guys so you can start doing that too. And same with like the new twist. Yeah, everybody ready? You want to twist? Twist, twist, twist. We should make a music video, do the twist, you know, so it just, these are really, I mean, they are so perfect. You can put a little command strip on there and stick it anywhere.
I like them.
Yeah.
Ooh, put out your garbage can with a little command strip. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you could stick it, you know, because my daughter's going to college. She's like, I could sell the crap out of these in college, because you know, some colleges don't let you have warmers, but you could stick these in your closet. You could put them in your, you know, by your bed, wherever, and good for boys. So yeah, a lot of people asked Madison if she was gonna join, because she's 18 now. And so she's waiting for offers on who wants to be her sponsor. Nicole.
So there are so many things that are dropping in October, and I'm going to be kind of like what you were saying. I'm going to be letting them, normally I don't let them know until like the month of, but with so much dropping, I'm going to be letting them know like almost now-ish, is like sneak peeks for my VIP people. And then maybe like 2 or 3, like pretty much now, I'm going to be letting them all know, so then they can plan for it. Because if they were to get like one of everything, like it's going to be like $500.
Yeah.
So, but it would also be a good way to talk to them about hosting or joining. So then they'll have their party at that amount when those release. So that's another good point. Normally I don't talk about it until we get closer, but I think with these ones and with how many are releasing in October, now sooner is better.
And if they don't want to do a party, setting up a referral link or party link for them so they can shop from that, that would be smart.
Something that one of my biggest takeaways was about Scentsy Club. I don't even remember who was talking about it, but she said if your customer has a $100 Scentsy Club, they should be a consultant, because that's $20 to $25 a month that they would be saving, they would earn back from their club. And they might refer some friends and do $200 a month just in club. So I was like, oh, I have a couple of people like that. And they're like, one is all Disney, and look at all the Disney that's coming now. So I know she's going to add more. So, I mean, I feel like I should tell her we need to talk. So that was one of my biggest takeaways about that. What else do we get? We got the 100-acre wood in pod. So that's going to be amazing. That's so good. We talked to Michael Borg for a while. Oh, I should say that it is after 7:30. So if you got to go, we totally get you got to go. I'm going to leave the recording on for a little bit longer because I think this is all exciting. And we'll just kind of finish up. But if you got to go, just wave and you got to go. But we talked to Michael Borg, who is in charge of Disney. He's the one that fostered that partnership. And I'm going to say one part and then I'll Christy tell you the other part. But, you know, he fostered that relationship, and it almost didn't happen because of LuLaRoe. Disney was so discouraged by that working relationship with them that they're like, nah. But while they started working with us, they absolutely love us. So this Disney partnership is not going anywhere anytime soon. What do you want to add, Christy, about Michael Borg?
That he might want to come and speak on our Better Together podcast. I mean, I think he more than wants to come and speak. He has like, I asked him about Scentsy Club and they are passing the torch to somebody else, but he still said he would come and talk. But then I go, well, what else do you want to talk about? And so he named off some other things that he would like to talk about. But I think the best thing, and Emmy emulates this about being curious. And so don't be shy and ask questions, because that's what happened. We started asking questions and I asked him, well, what else can you talk about? And he was excited about Marvel things and all these other things. And I go, what else? And he goes, well, I do have this talk about analytics, like who buys what. So I was like, what does that mean? And he goes, well, you know, like this age group, we have all the data, and I'm a data girl, that this age group buys these items and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, are you going to come talk about that? I mean, isn't that going to be wonderful right before the holidays? He can tell us who is like more likely to buy Nightmare Before Christmas, or maybe he even shares for the people that do events. Like he can tell you if you're doing an event here, these are what you want to buy. Maybe these are what you want to kind of stay away from. So I think he was as excited as we were to even be asked to do that. And I'm like, oh, come on over. So we'll be having him talk about that and maybe a couple other things, because he's super, super excited. So
yeah, he said that Daisy, you know, Donald and Daisy were our first, that's what I thought you were talking about, was Daisy and Donald were some of our first Disney buddies. And Disney said, don't do Daisy, like Daisy doesn't work out, And Michael's like, well, why not? And they're like, well, Daisy just looks like Donald in drag, so she's just not a good seller. And Michael Borg was like, challenge accepted. And our Daisy is Disney's favorite Daisy stuffed plush that has ever been made. They did a really good job. And he yeah, he had some really, really great things to tell us. So that's exciting.
And I want to share something too. I asked him if Lindsay, you know, she looks like Minnie Mouse with her big bow, if she had something to do with the, you know, the relationship we have. And he said, well, of course. But, you know, it was other things. And he must have said 10 times, Disney really loves us. Like, no, they really, really love us. And can I tell that story, do you think? Or should we tell it?
Yeah.
So remember when we first got Disney, what a pain in the butt for those that were here, like that you couldn't say, I have poo or whatever, because Disney said that we can't say we couldn't say we have whatever, because
you couldn't say me.
You couldn't say me, you couldn't say I, and it was just so crazy. And so, and it was the powers of be at Disney. One of the people there was just adamant, and they tried to talk to them about it, and they said, nope, this is the way that it is. Well, then that person from Disney secretly ordered some Scentsy, and they got the most wonderful thank you card. And so they didn't, when they ordered, nobody knew, the consultant didn't know who they were or anything else, but got this warm thank you card that said, you know, all the things, and made that person at Disney feel all the warm fuzzies. And they came back and said, you can say, you don't have to, you can say we, you can say me, you can say I, you can say whatever. I understand where you're coming from. Like, this is a thing, like I didn't know until I experienced it. So I just thought that was a great story. And also for people, you know, when you think that your words don't matter to your customers, or sending out a little thing, like you just never know, like how excited people get. So I thought it was a great story. I mean, I think he would have just went on and told us more stories, but I was like, okay, you can come on our thing and you can tell some other stuff. So we'll be excited to have him.
I think he really liked that we asked him questions that weren't, I did share a Tinkerbell video with him, but you know, I think he gets a lot of questions of, are we getting a Tinkerbell buddy? Are we getting this buddy? Are we getting this? Are we getting this? So I think he was like, he really enjoyed our conversation, because it was.
But he did put us on the spot, and he said, so remember this too, and like you guys can always write into the idea share, because he did ask us, tell me what buddy that you would like to see that we don't already have. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I couldn't think of anything from it, but I thought Harry Potter might be cute with his little lightning bolt or something. And I think they talked about the princesses, and he said some of the facial features are really hard, so that's why for girls, I think they said, or boys, I can't remember. Girls. And that's why they tried out Darth Vader and Princess Leia to see how the sales would go, because their faces are a little bit harder to do. So if you guys have any ideas of some buddies that you would like to see, especially licensed, like make sure that you share them in the idea here, or maybe when he comes on, because he was really excited about that.
Yeah. Well, was there anything else? Anybody that was there didn't? Anything else you want to share? Did you like the way that we're getting a new Harry Potter scent? We're getting the Hocus Pocus scent. Wally's gonna have its own scent with Eva. Any questions?
I love the Wally scent.
It kind of reminded me of fresh cut grass. It's not as strong.
Harry Potter, I think Lizzie said, smells like a really good smelling man, and who doesn't want to smell that? So
oh, we talked to the guy who creates the whiff box, and he said, there's some good whiff boxes coming. Like, you know, they're going to be promoting, he said they're going to be promoting the heck out of these new twist products. So they definitely want to get that in customers' hands as soon as possible. Wink, wink.
I was disappointed with my whiff box. I didn't get the exclusive bar.
Mojito.
Yeah, that one. I got cocoa lime.
Well, personally, I like cocoa lime better.
Oh yeah, that does smell a little bit better. We'll get you a trade if you want. I'm sure
Yeah.
somebody will trade for sure.
Did anyone else get mystery boxes from the consultant store?
No.
Nobody.
What did you get?
I did.
I did get so they had $15 boxes, $20 boxes, and like $40 boxes. So the $40 boxes were the lighter ones, and that's what had like the buddies and like the buddy clips, bitty buddies that aren't available anymore. I did get the $20 one, and that one had a whole bunch of like body line products, which I was pretty happy about, except for the weight. But like it had, again, like different like scents that are no longer available. So I got body cream, 3 of the smaller size hand soaps, and a hand cream. What else was there? And the body cream, did I say that? Yeah, so it was like $49 worth of product for like 20 bucks. It was really cool. And then I heard that the smaller $15 box had like bars and scent circles, again, things that aren't available. So it was really cool.
Perk of going.
Mm-hmm. And those sold out like the first night. So, or did it? Yeah, I think it did. Those were gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's always crazy.
I just want to say that I am so proud of all of you that went, because it is totally a investment in your business, and I think you'll see the return on that this holiday season. And just super proud of you guys, and was so happy to see everybody together again. It just made my heart happy, and I hope you all made lasting friendships, not just with our team, but with other people that you'll keep in contact with throughout your Scentsy career too.
And we have tons of pictures. I didn't post pictures, but Madison went around. I mean, I took pictures, everybody took pictures, but she also went around and made some like really fun little boomerangs without people in it, you know, so anybody can use them. So we'll work on getting those shared, figure out how to share all that. Ow!
Are we still recording?
Yes. I'm going to stop the recording unless you want to add one thing before I stop it.
No.
Okay. Stop recording.